Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nicole perplexed Eric outside the Brady pub when she said that a nurse had inadvertently delivered her test results to Sloan. Eric was relieved when Nicole informed him that the tests had revealed no genetic problems in Nicole or EJ. Eric expressed his wish that Sloan would receive the same good news concerning her baby. Nicole expressed her wish for Eric and Sloan to have a healthy child. Sloan protested to Trask outside City Hall that Colin had been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Trask tried her hardest to console Sloan. Trask recalled her date with Alex the night before, which she described as horrible. Trask stunned Sloan by informing her that Trask had another rendezvous with Lai. Trask deduced that Sloan was bothered by something. Sloan asked if she could confide with Trask about anything. Trask assured her that whatever Sloan said, her would be kept strictly confidential. Before Sloan could inform Trask, she received a phone call from Eric, who stated he needed to see her. Sloan jumped up and raced out the door. Trask noticed that Sloan was on the point of telling her something vital. Sloan claimed it was insignificant. Trask looked perplexed as Sloan walked away. Later at Sloan and Eric's apartment, Eric inquired as to why Sloan had failed to mention earlier that she had obtained Nicole's test results. Sloan recalled learning that EJ was not Nicole's biological father. Sloan became enraged and accused Eric of giving her the third degree. Eric explained that he was merely inquisitive. Sloan reported that Colin's punishment had put her in a bad mood. Eric grasped Sloan's hands in his and expressed his concern for her. Eric remarked that he had been in a bad position before meeting Sloan. Eric also expressed optimism about his future with Sloan. "Now that we're having a baby, you and I are family, right?" Eric inquired. Wendy inquired about Lai's previous night's date at the Shin residence. Wendy informed Lai that his date with Connie had been a disaster. Wendy was taken aback when Lai revealed that he had gone on another date with Trask. Wendy expressed her hope that things would turn out well for Lai, but she doubted that Lai could trust Trask. Wendy reminded Lai that Trask had tried to dupe her into confessing to Stefan's attempted murder. Wendy speculated that Trask had employed the matchmaker to set up the second date with Lai in order to persuade him to confess. Lai continued to deny any role in Stefan's assassination attempt. Lai revealed that he and Trask had another date scheduled for that evening. Lai told Wendy to have a good time and then left. Lai later ran into Trask at a small bar, who informed her that she had chosen their favorite bottle of Chardonnay. Lai remembered Wendy's remark that Trask was merely hoping to get Lai to confess. Lai became nervous and stated that he couldn't stay. Lai dashed out of the pub, leaving Trask speechless. Steve paid a visit to Tripp in the hospital. Wendy had chosen Tripp over Johnny, according to Tripp, and Steve's pep talk had helped. Steve reasoned that Lee's presence at the Shin apartment made it harder for Tripp and Wendy to enjoy alone time. Tripp still had a room at Steve and Kayla's penthouse, according to Steve. Steve volunteered to accompany Kayla somewhere to give Tripp and Wendy some privacy. Tripp expressed gratitude for Steve's offer, but stated that it was not what he had in mind. Ava called Steve right then and there. Tripp arrived home after his duty at the Shin flat. Wendy observed that she and Tripp had the entire space to themselves. Tripp startled Wendy by telling her that he had reserved a room for them at the Salem Inn. Tripp hoped he hadn't been too arrogant. Wendy kissed Tripp and said she'd pack her belongings. Talia notified Chanel about Colin's prison sentence in Horton Town Square. Talia claimed Colin had hate in his eyes as he stared at her and told her she deserved to be in prison as well. Talia agreed with Colin, but Chanel pointed out that Talia had been in an emotionally abusive relationship. Chanel went on to say that Colin was just attempting to get inside Talia's thoughts. The topic shifted to Abe. Talia expressed her gratitude that Abe had been discovered alive. Chanel thanked Talia and said she was going for a walk to kill time in order to allow Abe and Paulina some privacy. Talia volunteered to pay for Chanel's meal at Buddy's Burger Barn. Talia admitted to missing Chanel. Chanel eventually admitted that she too missed Talia. Talia's replacement at Sweet Bits, according to Chanel, was not very good. "So, Eunice having me as an employee?" Talia inquired. "Yeah, and as a friend," Chanel replied. Chanel and Talia ate dinner at a booth outside Sweet Bits. Talia accidentally said catfish, prompting Chanel to recall Paulina. Chanel mentioned that catfish was on the menu for Abe's homecoming party, and she hoped that Abe and Paulina were getting along well. Abe stated in Abe and Paulina's penthouse that the residence did not evoke any recollections for him. Paulina was confident that Abe's memories would return. Paulina desired to see a romantic film with Abe. Following that, Paulina grabbed Abe and startled him with a kiss on the sofa. "What the hell is going on? What in the world is going on?" Abe objected. Abe apologized and explained that his reaction was due to Whitley's weeks of attempting to push herself on him. When Abe remarked that he only saw a stranger when he looked at Paulina, she was hurt. Paulina became distraught and sobbed her way out of the room. Abe cupped his palms over his head. Paulina reappeared a little time later, apologizing for her outburst. There was a knock on the door. Steve was welcomed inside by Paulina. Steve mentioned that he had gotten a phone call from Abe. When Abe mentioned that he needed a new place to reside, Steve and Paulina were taken aback. Abe also stated that he was uneasy in his and Paulina's home. Paulina begged Steve to persuade Abe not to leave. "You said you were one of my oldest and closest friends, Steve. I believe that friends can rely on one another. And right now, I have to rely on you for a place to stay," Abe explained. Steve tried to reassure Abe that he was in excellent hands with Paulina, but Abe refused to believe him. Steve reluctantly wheeled Abe out of the house, promising Paulina that everything would be fine. Paulina began to cry after Abe and Steve left. Nicole came by a short while later to see Abe. Nicole was taken aback when Paulina informed her that Abe had moved out. Simultaneously, Steve wheeled Abe into Steve and Kayla's home. Abe apologized for putting Steve in an unpleasant situation with Paulina. Steve assured Abe that he would be able to stay for as long as he needed. Belle was working on paperwork when Kristen returned to the courtroom. "Is that the ruling that awards me custody?" Kristen asked. Belle curtly confirmed that was the paperwork. "I just can't believe that I won. I won and Brady lost," Kristen said with a smile. "You know, any decent mother would know that Brady is not the only one who lost today. So did your daughter." "Big time," Belle said. Belle walked out. When John and Marlena returned home to the penthouse, a dejected Brady was sitting in the living room with a picture of Rachel. "What's wrong?" John asked. "I lost her. The judge awarded full custody of Rachel to Kristen," Brady said. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.